Thank you, Mr. McKenzie. I'm just waiting for everybody to join. I'm here. Hi!
You have to click unmute.
I think you're muted.
Just click mute to
We
unmute
can't
yourself.
hear you.
Now.
Yes! There you are. No problem.
Thanks for having me, guys. Oh, technology is hard.
Hi!
Hi, Emma! Just give me a few minutes, okay? What do you need?
I was gonna see if you could help me with my skills.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes. Let me finish this first, okay? Thank you.
So, thanks for joining me today. I wanted us to come up with a speech for the graduating class of 2020. Okay, I'll start, and you guys feel free to jump in anytime you want.
Sounds good.
Let me just full screen this. First of all, thank you. I'm really honored that you invited me to say a few words today. I wish I could be there in person. I want to try to sound smart and leave you with some words of wisdom. See? I even got new glasses to help me look smart too. I hope what I have to say is worth your time and attention. Since I had most of you in my English 3 class last year, I thought I'd start there. Throughout the year, you were introduced to some really great pieces of literature, from which I hope you learned a thing or two. Honestly, I really don't care if you could remember the plot details or the characters from what we read 20 years from now. But I do hope that you could still remember the hidden lessons that were taught. In Beowulf, you learned that you need confidence in yourself and in your abilities, and that you also need charisma, a good moral compass, a strong work ethic, and at least one friend who will stand with you until the very end. And much like Beowulf himself, if you say you're going to do something, then you better follow through and do it.
In the Canterbury Tales, you learned not to judge people based on their appearances, or the amount of money they have, or their gender. Lessons that will serve you well as you become the future of our planet. Learn to see people for who they really are, not just by surface stuff like race, gender, financial situation, or anything else. Look at their character. Look at what's inside. And be mindful of your own character as well. What you do and how you act in private when nobody is watching is a good indicator of who you really are. In Hamlet, despite Polonius being a talkative old fool, his advice to Laertes is timeless, especially the part about being true to yourself and never being deceptive to others. And you also learned that spying ends in dying, so you'll probably want to avoid that. In Everyday, you learned that at the heart of it all, we're all about 98% similar to one another, but yet we tend to focus on that 2% that's different. And that's the cause of so much trouble in our world today. I hope you'll focus more on the 98% and less on the 2%. Finally, in Fallen Angels, you learned the importance of perseverance. That no matter how difficult things may get, you need to dig deep to find that inner strength to push through. That even though it may seem like giving up is the easiest way out, you can always find a little more strength in yourself to keep going.
So, being the nerdy English teacher that I am, I wanted to share a poem with you. Don't worry, I didn't write it. It was written by a woman named Linda Ellis in 1996, the year after my high school graduation, and it's called The Dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end.
He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on Earth. And now, only those who loved them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash.
So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged.
To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. And if we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things that they say about how you lived your dash?
I hope you will. I really do. Now, some of you I've known since freshman year, and I've had you in a few of my classes, and others I've only met this past year. Maybe even this past semester before the whole world seemed to fall apart. Regardless of how long we've known each other, my message to you is the same. You are somebody. You have a place in this world. You might be the only good thing in someone else's life. Remember that, and don't take it lightly. You matter. I'll leave you with this final thought. You've probably heard me say it a few times. Love people, use things. The opposite never works. I wish you all peace,
Love, unity, and respect as you begin writing your new chapters of your lives.